2002 was one of the most thrilling experiences of my life. You know that when the 2002 Olympics came to Utah, Nu Skin was invited to become one of the general sponsors. And we became close friends with Mitt Romney, who was the head of that Olympics. And he approached us one day and said, you know, we're putting together the opening ceremonies where people will lead the teams of the various countries out onto the the field in front of that great stadium with 1 billion people, 1.5 billion people will be watching on television. I'd like to give you first choice. Nu Skin can take 3 countries and lead their teams onto the field. Which 3 do you want? And so we thought about it, and we chose Korea, of course. And so I got to lead this wonderful Korean Olympic team out onto that field carrying that little banner in the opening ceremonies, viewed by billions. Do you know who led the closing ceremony? The person who led the Korean team onto the field for the closing ceremony? Well, that was my wife, Colleen, who's just right down here. That camera on here. I'm going to walk down here and just surprise the camera people. You know, 35 years ago, Colleen, come stand with me for a minute. I may get divorced over this. I'm going to take a risk. 35 years ago, Colleen took this amazing risk with me that if we were to get married, that her risk was, her gamble was, would we be able to create a successful life together? And if then we said to her, well, you know, somewhere in the course of our marriage, we're going to get to lead one of the great nations in the world's Olympic team out onto a playing field, she'd have said, well, that doesn't necessarily make a successful life, does it? And if you were to ask her today, have we had a successful marriage, if she were in a quiet moment and were to tell you what's really in her heart, she would say, too soon to tell. Because what she really believes deep down inside is that we won't know whether we've had a successful marriage or not until we see how our grandchildren turn out. Our children have turned out to be great people, and they're going to be wonderful souls. And it's really that next generation that's an unknown. And so all of our successes, our financial successes, we're successful in making thousands of friends all over the world, are really secondary to that one big question. How are our grandkids going to turn out? And what kind of a legacy will we leave behind in our children? And so we're still working on it. So thanks for taking the risk. Thank you. I see Sandy Tolson sitting here. If I were to say, Sandy took a risk too. Years ago, Blake came and said to her and said, I've got a friend. You know, I went to college with, and I think he would be a contributor. And Sandy, one of the partners, decided to take a risk on him. And if we were to corner Sandy today and say, Sandy, how's it gone? Have we been successful? She would say, if she told you what's really in her heart, too soon to tell. So far, so good? So far, so good. But we didn't start out just to make money and be financially successful. Our plan together, as we talked about what Nu Skin could be, was that we were going to build a great life together, Colleen and Sandy and I, and Blake and the rest of us, build a great life by creating something that was more than money, and that could actually be a force for good in the world. And so we're still figuring that out. So far, so good. But we're not nearly there yet, are we? You here in Korea have been an important part of that force for good. Because of the good things that you're doing here. I'll tell you, it's an honor for me to be with you because I have to tell you that I feel a little bit out of place here. I'm on a stage surrounded by you amazing people who've done so much for so many, And I'm truly in awe of you and your goodness. I believe maybe our roles should be reversed. Maybe you should all be standing here on the stage and I should be sitting down there while you talk to me about the difference that you're making in the lives of other people, in the lives of your family, as you create successful lives together. So I thank you, and we thank you for the goodness that you exude into the world, and the charity and the difference that you demonstrate every day in your business and in your families and with everyone that you touch. Being here today brings back memories of when we opened Korea back in 1996. I remember coming here and meeting so many wonderful leaders and entrepreneurs. I remember us walking away saying, we don't know, I just had a sense, we didn't know how we were going to do in Korea, because frankly, you were kind of a tough crowd. In that first meeting, you showed up with your hands on your hips, kind of saying, we'll wait and see. Not real responsive. We were very funny. You didn't laugh. We were very wise. You were not impressed. But we came away saying, well, those are certainly the most beautiful people we've ever seen. We still believe that. No one dresses more elegantly. Nobody comports themselves with more dignity and class than does our Korean distributor force. And so it's fitting that we're here today to think about this again. This is Korea's 20th anniversary. Would you give yourself a round of applause for becoming one of the great How proud we are to still to be associated with you and to be building our legacy together with yours. You know, Nu Skin's Force for Good Foundation grew out of our desire to extend the number of lives that we could improve beyond the boundaries of business. And because of you and others like you, the foundation has helped us collectively to improve lives and empower the dreams of people who often had no opportunities for a better life. And that's what you do, what we do together. So as Nu Skin grows around the world, we continue to make smiles on the faces of many, many people who otherwise would have less to smile about because of this powerful culture that we're a part of. It's a unique culture that's best summed up maybe by our corporate mission statement. Let's think about this for a moment. It reads, our mission is to be a force for good.
사람들에게 훌륭한 사업기회, 혁신적인 제품, 그리고 풍요롭고 향상된 문화를 제공하여 삶의 질을 높일 수 있는 전 세계적으로 선임이 되는 것이다.
You know, we call this our Force for Good culture. It's a culture because it's not just a convenient thing that we say and we point to and we tell others about the business. Our commitment is to actually improve people's lives. And this is not just a public relations ploy, and it's not just an addendum at the bottom of our mission statement written because it reads well in front of a consuming public, but our Force for Good culture is an integral part of who we are, collectively and individually. It's woven throughout our product development process. It is core to our business opportunity. In essence, being a force for good is part of our collective DNA. It's a statement that expresses who we are. It's a culture of success, and it's a culture of giving. And it's your culture, the sum of the combined values and ambitions of our people, of you. In short, you are the Nu Skin culture. And you live this culture every day by becoming the best that you can along the way. We do this primarily in three ways. Through the Force for Good Foundation, which is a nonprofit foundation dedicated to enabling products around the world to help our most vulnerable citizens to live a life free from disease and illiteracy and poverty. Second, through our local charitable initiatives. And thirdly, through our innovative social enterprise program, the Nourish the Children initiative. Let's touch just briefly on each of those three, and then we'll move on. You are helping people become the best versions of themselves through this culture of giving spread out across these many initiatives. The Nu Skin Force for Good Foundation has now supported projects in over 50 countries around the world, including, of course, right here in Korea. Here we have built a total of 16 New Hope libraries, which has extended the reach of education into rural communities throughout South Korea. Since 2008, you've already built, I'm sorry, I said 16, 17 libraries, giving so many children the opportunity to read and learn. Also here, since 2006, your contributions have been supporting the meal box sharing activity carried out by World Vision Korea. To date, you've donated over 330,000 meal boxes to hungry people here in Korea, helping people with their most basic needs by providing them with nourishing meals at times when they need them the most. Eradicating hunger has been a major focus of our company for many years, and your efforts are helping in this cause. One meal and one person at a time. Another way that you're doing good is your support of our efforts to research the skin disease epidermolysis bullosa, EB. Since 2003, you have provided over 110 million won to EB patients. And further, you've provided more than 180 million won to the Gangnam Severance Hospital and the medical research that they're doing there to help try to solve this most horrific of childhood diseases. Your donations to these two medical research funds has led to positive results in many, many lives. One particular project I want to thank you for is the help that you've been providing in building dormitories at Safi. There we go. I'm going to go back one. There we are. As you know, Safi is the school that we have built together in Malawi, Africa, that is teaching modern agricultural principles to families in Malawi to help them to become self-sufficient. The dormitories will be used to train government agricultural agents who will in turn teach Safi principles to farmers throughout the country. That's service. Now I've drowned myself.